Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Skibblings! Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast, Turkey Day Hangover. I hope both you, Donnie and Delvin, had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We are back in the Shack to talk all about that and Nintendo news from the week. How are you guys today?
Good. Almost felt like we forgot we were on the podcast for a second.
Rebecca's face, she's like, "Ooh, we're live."
Yeah, like, okay, so the intro, maybe it was just on my end. The intro, like, normally, like, it goes, like, for, like, a second longer, but it, like, kind of cut off before the music was over, and then I was on there. Maybe that was just me.
I
was like, oh, no, I wasn't ready.
I will say this.
Terrible start.
Usually, when the intro starts, I don't see none of it because it all freezes up until I see you guys' face on the screen.
Oh.
But this time, it played
gosh.
through perfectly. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's that Florida internet for you.
Yeah, that's
wow.
that crocodile internet.
Yep. We've changed streams. Oh, I had somebody reach out to me last week. It was through somebody else. So this is like secondhand regurgitation. Okay. Somebody told me that they told them that they didn't like our show because I constantly talked over Rebecca. And then I went back to listen to it. And what it was is that the mix, because I had to mix recordings, the mixes are like a second and a half off. So I'm kind of coming in right as Rebecca's ending a lot. And it sounds like, I swear to you, that's not how we podcast.
You know.
I was going to say, if anything, I'm interrupting you and Delvin more.
I was like, wow, they really think I'm out here just crushing this girl.
I had to like adjust it because like for some reason the mix was like off just like a second.
That makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It made a difference because it sounded like we were just talking
about melon
problems.
So, hopefully we don't have any more melon problems. I've been working with them. PSVG went fine. Now here's the thing. Everything I did for PSVG I didn't do today. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But I'm
going to have to use it later today, by the way, because I'm doing XP.
I'm kind of hoping that the browser switch is actually maybe the fix. And that's I honestly didn't want to do everything. Right? Like they kind of do one thing at a time and see what works.
What the problem is.
So we'll see if the browser switch, if we're good, then we're good. And we'll just leave it alone. If not, then because like last week for PSVG, I switched browsers. I restarted my router. I turned off the internet around the house. Like I was literally like, we are going to eliminate every possible thing. So the internet is on. I did not reboot my router, but I did switch browsers. So we'll see how this works.
Okay.
Donnie, tell your friend to tell their friend to tell their friend that that you don't talk over me. I talk over you.
He also yelled at me, and I've seen this in when I post the podcast. I've seen this in Anchor a little bit. People get mad we don't talk about Nintendo games, like exclusively Nintendo games. Like that's like, oh, it's a Nintendo show with no Nintendo games. Guys, we talk about the games that we're going to play. Like,
also, if we only talked about Nintendo stuff today, the show would probably be over in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's not even that. We've done this for 300 plus episodes. Like if you're just figuring this out now, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. Like,
I have some bad news for that person because I am exclusively going to be talking about the Steam Deck today instead of the Nintendo Switch. So,
oh no!
If y'all
close out of the podcast now, go find another one.
I mean, I think we do a good job. I remember Caro and we did like 3 months on Fire Emblem. Like it was all Fire Emblem for months, like an entire season. That's all we talked about. We did Mario and we did Tears of the Kingdom. Like when we get things to talk about, we do. But yeah, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about.
Don't worry if y'all want to talk about like old.
It's
NES
our
games.
podcast. Like it's our podcast.
Y'all want to hear about some Star Tropics, baby?
Oh God.
Okay, if we want to do Swift Shack, we're going to do Swift Shack, right? Get over it.
So true. And tonight is her last show in 2023, the last show in Brazil before she takes a couple months off until February. Then she's going to go to Japan.
Man, yeah, today was the last F1 day too. Season's over. It's all
Wow.
over. The
coming to a
year's
close.
coming to a close.
I know it is.
Mhm.
How was you didn't answer? How was your Thanksgivings?
I can't wait to hear this one.
I don't think we should tell that story. Nintendo Shack. I'll give it a bridge version of it. It was interesting. It was very interesting, especially considering that I had to go out there and like save like 2 Thanksgivings.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was like a wild situation where the one that was supposed to be planned at my house, well, not at my house, at my in-laws' house, they had nothing. And I gave money for them to get stuff for it. Like, hey, here's our stuff. And nothing was planned. Nothing was set out. They had nothing.
Damn.
Like nothing. No
Oh,
turkey,
no.
no ham, nothing.
Can't
I'm like,
start making the turkey that day.
and they were like, oh, you need you to get the stuff. I'm like, and I already had planned with my girlfriend that day to get some of like the last things she needed for Thanksgiving because she had rented this nice fancy hotel out for her family to come and stuff with a cool
Ooh.
balcony and stuff. And it was like she was like, hey, go get that stuff and then come to the house and we can just, while we're setting up, we can have a little fun.
This doesn't sound like a bad Thanksgiving so far.
No.
That sounds a pretty sweet
No
Thanksgiving.
fun was had.
Oh no.
I ended up spending the
I'm
whole day
sorry.
just getting stuff for 2 houses for Thanksgiving. It was
Man.
insane.
Aw.
It was just annoying. And I had no fun all week.
Well, I'm sure that they really appreciated your help. And
Fuck
that
their
is the
appreciation.
true meaning of Thanksgiving.
No, it isn't.
Be thankful, Devin.
No, absolutely
Chad
not.
has called you the Batman of Thanksgiving, and I like that moniker. I think that one will stick.
That is, yeah.
Well, at least I'm not the Nightwing of Thanksgiving.
That's true. It could be worse.
Just
it could be much
remember
worse.
that for Christmas. Remember that for Christmas and maybe plan ahead for them.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll pay itself back, right? You put good into the world, maybe you'll reap that.
that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Aw. Well, what about you, Donnie? How was your Thanksgiving?
Great. Yeah, Melissa made the turkey this year in she's got like an Instapot, like a cooker thing that you close and seal. And I swear I think it's the best turkey I've ever had.
Oh,
I was like, I don't understand why more people don't do this. Like, this should be a thing, especially after I
Wow.
watched like copious amounts of hours of TikTok of people lighting themselves on fire trying to deep fry turkeys. There's so many people that like kill themselves every year trying to deep fry a turkey.
yeah.
Don't
my
deep
brother
fry
almost
your
did
turkey,
that.
guys.
We had the most uneventful, like you just now obviously you got to have a smaller turkey, right? We're not feeding like 30 people. So we just put our little turkey in the Instapot and she turned it on, man. We had dinner and it was fantastic. So,
Good. Nice
yeah.
and low key.
Yeah, we're just home alone this year. Like everybody left. Like all the other folks went to different houses, which is honestly what I said. That's what I was thankful for. Like at the table, I was like, I am thankful that we were
No one
not
is
in
here.
somebody else's house. We didn't have
Yeah.
to drive. There aren't like kids screaming, and the temperature in the house isn't set to 78. Like I'm very relaxed and I'm very comfortable here in my own home,
That is
hanging out, doing
is the spirit of
Thanksgiving with the
Thanksgiving.
fam. We put
everyone
up,
get away from me.
Yeah, we put up the
Good.
Christmas tree, which has been kind of a nightmare already. And so we alternate trees every year because my wife and daughter, they like the Martha Stewart. Our tree is an accessory to the home, the theme. This is we're going to take photos of it tree. And I like I grew up in 1992 tree. Like I want tinsel and big lights and dumb ornaments, and I want it to be full and, so every year we rotate between the girls' tree and the fun tree. As Jack and I call it, like this is the fun tree.
You should just get 2 trees. Get one tree that's aesthetic and one tree that is gaudy.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like, I don't like that idea for a lot of reasons. One, my house ain't that big. 2, I don't want to
You also have a lot of pets.
I don't want to carry 2 trees. The carrying and the storing of 2 trees sounds awful. I think I would give up on my tree versus carrying 2 trees.
Just do like I do. Just buy the Charlie Brown tree, the little small.
little tree.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
tabletop tree.
Yeah.
little
So
small
we had
ornament that looks sad.
we had So this year's the fun tree. I have these big fluorescent bulb lights that like heat up and like old school. Like if you barely like they pop, they'll explode on the floor and stuff. So we wrapped the tree. Victoria wrapped it up and down this year for the first time ever. And we've already lost 3 strands. It seems like after they've run for about an hour, the first one always burns out. And then the cats have broken a half dozen other bulbs. Jack decorated it. And then I told Jack, I was like, we need to put more decorations on it. And we had like a 30-minute back and forth about there was absolutely nowhere else to put decorations on it, according to him. And then Melissa put like 100 more ornaments on it.
Sounds about right.
And she just put a bunch more ornaments on it. But yeah, like the tree has just been a constant thing. The cats are just tearing this thing to pieces. So we'll see if it makes it to Christmas. I don't know.
Probably.
But I told
trees
Melissa,
are hard with having pets, especially if you get a live tree. Just forget about it with pets.
Oh, they're having a blast. They think this is they literally it's just a tree of toys just hung for them.
Yeah.
You know, just balls and things for them to bat around. Doom is particularly fond of our Pokeball. He keeps taking the Pokeball off and then batting the Pokeball around the house. So yeah, it's pretty fun. But lots of games were played. But mostly it's just been me chilling around, watching movies and stuff.
Good. That's a good relaxing Thanksgiving.
How about
for
you?
the first time, for the first time we traveled to like out somewhere far in Pennsylvania in the mountains, like towards
I thought she was
Pittsburgh.
like, to the Netherlands.
No. Just like 5 hours. Like, so you can drive for 5 hours in Pennsylvania and still be like in the middle of Pennsylvania. So we were somewhere in the mountains.
Sounds
and
about right.
my cousins own like this house in the mountains that they rent out for Airbnb, but they can keep it for holidays or whenever they want to go up there. So we stayed there for Thanksgiving. It was my cousins, my aunt and uncle. Some of their friends came over. There was a lot of people, like some people who I didn't know, some people who I haven't seen in a long time. But Josh came and my parents came. And it was nice. It was like kind of cool to be somewhere else. We only stayed for 2 days. There was a lot of really good food because my aunt is like this older Italian woman and like just such good food. It was so amazing. But I did a lot of like semi-socialization. I'm not like a big socialization person for people who I don't know. But it was cool just to be there and like see people and eat food and be in the car for 5 hours. I didn't have to drive, so that was the nice part.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
It's good.
And you know what happened was the day that we were leaving on Wednesday, I was expecting my Steam Deck to be delivered by 9 p.m. that day. And I'm like, well, there's no way. Like, we have to leave in the morning. There's no way it's going to be delivered in time. And so, like, I'm getting ready. It's the morning. It's like almost like 11:30. We have to like get ready to go. And we're in the car, me and Josh. And like, I am like feeling around. I'm like, oh my God, I think I left my phone inside. And so I go back in the house to get my phone. And when I get in there, Josh is calling me. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, I found my phone. You didn't have to call it. And he was like, no. The UPS guy is coming up to your house right now. And I'm like, wow. Oh, my God. So I was able to get my Steam Deck package and take it right in the car with me for the trip. It was great.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Yeah,
it was. And so I kind of spent the trip like setting that up and like downloading games. And I love it. It's really great. I know we have some questions about it, but like I am on board with what Garrett said that one time, where the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch is like the perfect combination of game systems.
I agree.
Nice. Yeah. How's
I got the OLED. The new one.
How do you like the size difference?
It is bulky. I don't like that.
Chunky,
it's not
right?
as heavy as I thought it would be. Like, it looks a lot heavier. I'm not like super used to like the D-pad being like way over here and like these things. Like, I'm still getting used to those. Oh,
you don't like those Grub-tastic trackpads?
Grub-tastic.
Did you see Grub and I were feuding?
No.
Yeah, he got the OLED and he's talking about how great it is, and he called my Ally trash.
Wow.
And his basis for it, he said it doesn't have trackpads. I'm like, we're out here talking about trackpad. That's the worst part of the Steam Deck.
I actually don't mind it. This one doubles as a D-pad.
He likes them. As he made a very good point. He said, he likes them for like emulator setup and stuff, like the convenience of being
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah.
And I actually, and I'm joking. We just make fun of each other. I understand the convenience for having a trackpad for that. When I had my Ally and I was setting up all that stuff, I just plugged into an external monitor and just used a mouse. It's not like I'm using them all the time. But I also
Mhm.
like never, ever play a game that requires a mouse. Like if you're like, hey, you got to play a mouse keyboard, I'm just not interested in that game.
I don't like that
Um,
either.
Yeah. So for me, just personally, I'm not taking shots at the trackpad unless Rod 3000 is listening. Then absolutely I am. For
Good
me, I would rather just not have them. Like they just do me no good. So I don't really like them the way it looks on there. But I understand
Yeah.
that the functionality that it provides is pretty nice.
Yeah, they help.
Yeah.
They help with
The
certain
screen
things, like
is
when you-
beautiful. I love the OLED. Everything really pops. Everything's like very easy. Like I already have Game Pass set up on it. Like I actually had Josh do that for me. That was supposedly easy.
Are you doing it through
I
the browser? Like streaming?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It's all working out fine. It's easy. All I have to do is click a button and it's there.
Nice.
And then I already have some mods set up for some of my games. That was really easy to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that comment by G-Man is sarcastic. Thank goodness he was looking out for you. I made him set it up for me because I was like, I don't want to do this. Garrett sent
job.
me a video. I didn't feel like doing it. So I'm like, could you do it for me? And
Nice.
it worked.
What a world to live
So
in.
yeah, I'm
I know.
in the Steam
Do
Deck.
this, right?
like,
I know Delvin and I are thinking the same thing. You just
Yeah.
do this. I don't want to do this.
I need a Josh. Like here, take
Don't
this.
we all?
Yeah.
What a charmed life.
Yeah.
Listen, I did the mods by myself, so I am an independent woman who don't need no Josh.
I don't want to be independent. I was trying to do shit for me. Independent is overrated.
Yeah, I think the independence is having people do things for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing more independent than that.
Yeah. That's called a boss.
But yeah, I bought way too many games on the Steam Autumn sale.
Sure.
Yarden sent me a couple games. Shout out to Yarden, hooking me up with some good
Yarden
stuff.
sent me some games too. Like
Yarden
some
is a
good
real
ones.
one. Yeah, he's a real
I was
one.
like, whoa, dude, why are you doing this?
Yeah, shout out, good stuff.
Yarden ain't sent me shit. Fuck off, Yarden. Dare you?
Listen. But yeah, I definitely see the Switch and Steam Deck being my like combo because I've been playing more handheld kind of like as time goes on. I feel like there's still some games that I prefer like on the Switch on the TV, but sometimes I just like want to be in bed or
I
like I
haven't
just
played
want
my
to be like
Switch on
moving around the
TV in
house.
Forever.
I like the handheld. I don't know.
Tears of the Kingdom. No, I played. No, you know what? I take that back. I played a lot of Mario Docked. I did.
I exclusively play my
Yeah.
Switch on TV now. I just look at it like another
Okay.
home console now. And if a Steam Deck's the one I take out with me.
Okay, that's fair.
Ah.
So
The heck is that? What is that?
Panda. Which ones? Which one?
The
left is
weird one.
backbone.
This
That's
one?
a backbone.
This is the backbone. Remember we were talking about it a couple weeks ago? I told you I was gonna get it for my phone. This is the backbone.
That's your phone?
This
Yeah.
is my old phone. Yep, and it comes out and it just plays.
Oh, that's weird.
It's weird.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird.
Rebecca's like, I don't like that. Yeah, there you go. It's like a little Switch Lite. See?
Okay. What do you play on that?
Porn.
My,
You didn't see the anime girl clearly on the screen? That's definitely what he's doing.
That
That's
is,
definitely what he's doing.
that's everybody's golf. But be all sorts of things. Let's see here.
Everybody's
See if I
golf
can
looks a
get-
little different than what I remember.
Exactly.
Here we go. See if that comes into focus.
Yo, Stardew.
There you go.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Don't you have like 4 other devices you can play Stardew
Don't
on?
we all? Don't we all, Rebecca?
Yeah,
Don't
so
you?
True. So
We
true.
need 4 more.
Like that has stopped any of us from doing this.
He's
So
absolutely
true. I'm not one to talk. Anyway, I am playing and buying. I'm actually playing stuff. So like I don't like it's okay if I'm buying a lot of stuff because I'm playing a lot of stuff. So there we go.
Nice. I bought a bunch of
Wait,
things.
can I talk about real quick just one of the games?
Yes. Yes, let's do it.
It's one of the ones from the Indie Direct last week, Moonstone Island. I started that. Oh my gosh, it is. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck, but it's also on the Switch. I think it was originally just on PC, but now it came to Switch, and it is. I'm very picky about my farming sim Harvest Moon Stardew Valley clones. This one I feel like is one of the real ones because it is like a clone of Stardew meets Pokemon meets mostly those two, but there's some elements of other games in there too. You are this little witch that has an alchemist, who is leaving home for the first time, and they procedurally generate islands for you. So your game will look different than everybody else's, and you have to decide where you want your home to be. You meet all of the different people in the village. You can do farming. You can do these Pokemon I picked a starter. I picked Sheep. He's like a little fire sheep. He's so freaking cute. And you can catch these Pokemon and farm and meet villagers and customize, and it is just so cute, and I'm having a blast with it. It is adorable. I like that one a lot.
That'll be the next game from Game Freak. Be Pokemon Farmer. And that'll be the next generation. They'll just take this idea and run with it.
Probably they should do something like that.
Hope they can get
I think if you like those cozy indie farming life sim type games, but you want something a little bit different, check out Moonstone Island. It's very cute.
Nice.
Okay.
Very good.
You guys been playing anything that you want to talk about?
I've just been buying random shit.
Yeah.
Shit I don't need, shit I don't care about. Just here you go. I bought. Daddy's gonna laugh at me. I bought Golem because it was $10. I know I'm not gonna never play it. Just bought it. Just hey,
I played it.
It's $10. Let's go, baby.
Wait, isn't that game that's horrible?
Yes,
it's not.
Donnie,
Why would you spend $10 on that?
Great.
Because it was $10.
Yeah,
I have a problem.
Oh my God.
With that.
I bought it for $3. I got it for $3.
I bought so
3 sounds like too much.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I played it. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. For everybody, it's this is the worst game ever. It's not that bad. It's not good, though. By no means is it good, but it's not that bad.
I played the worst game ever, and it's called The Walking Dead Destinies.
Oh, I played the worst game ever, and it's called This Trash You Got Me Going On. This damn.
What is that?
Which one is that?
What is that? Exactly. What is that? Exactly. What is that? What is even that?
That's the Atari.
Looks like Tech Mobile.
It wishes it looked like Tech Mobile. That's the problem with all these damn games on this thing. Is it wished it was Tech Mobile.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. wait till you get to play E.T. and all the fun games.
No, I've heard about that game.
This damn thing. I don't know if this thing is awesome or wild or racist. I can't figure it out.
All of the above. That's the answer.
Sorry, I don't want to stop. I don't want to step over your time, Delvin. I'll talk about it here in a minute.
No, we can talk about it right now.
Talk about Gollum being terrible. I'd rather play Gollum than any of these damn games.
I am well aware of the Atari and the legacy it has. And yes, it started a generation of video gamers, but also
but it's not a good generation.
There are some good games on Atari, and then there are most of the ones that look like blocks fighting. And I'm quite sure Donnie played the ones that like blocks fighting.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah. I'm interested in what was your journey like playing these Atari games.
All right.
Were there any that you liked?
I'll talk about it. So yeah, I played the Atari collection to talk about some Nintendo Switch games. Listeners.
Does it run good on Switch?
It runs great on Switch.
Oh God.
Let me tell you guys, so many frames, so much FPS, so many teraflops have gone into the Atari collection. I got this game because I made so much fun of it on the Player One podcast, and for CJ and the crew, and for Delvin, who got it. And they really, honestly, they sold me on it. They kind of talked me into it. I'll say some nice things about it, but I mean, ultimately, what it comes down to is I just have I'm too young to have any appreciation for any of this.
Yes.
You know, like I didn't grow up with it, so there's no nostalgic part of me for me. It's all just objective. You know, like I told the story of the past. There were many years ago, I found a GameCube collection at a flea market, like this insane collection. And I brought it home and I was like going to become a GameCube collector and get my kids into GameCube. And my kids played it and they hated it. They were like, "What is this trash?" You know, and I was like, "How
Oh
dare
no.
you?" And now I understand how others feel when I tell that story, because this is probably how CJ and the gang felt when I made fun of this stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Atari stuff, though, it's hard to play. So the good stuff about it, the reason that I bought it is there is a cool little timeline here, Rebecca. Show you, get you in this, where you can walk through like it's like I would call it like an interactive documentary kind of. So you walk through a timeline of releases, and in
Okay.
between these releases, they've got like little blurbs or photos or interviews. They're all kind of bite-sized, maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes a piece. Sometimes they have like old archive footage from like the 70s and the 60s that they
I
did
like that
interviews.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
it's really cool.
So in that regard, it's worth it. It's worth it for the $10 that I spent on it. And then in between this timeline, you can play the game. So like it'll be like you'll come across Pong and you can just press a button to play Pong. When you don't want to do that at any point in time, you can also just play the library, and you can just zip through the library of the games that they have. And they have all these Atari games, and you can sort them by year or by platform. They're not all old. So I played all of the new ones. So they have Yar's Revenge, Vector Sector Reimagined, Sword Quest Reimagined, Quadratank Reimagined, Neo Breakout Reimagined, and Haunted Houses Reimagined. Those are all 2022 games.
Yes.
So they're like modern
I have
games.
a
It's
very-
not just ROMs.
I have a very
Go ahead.
important question.
Mm-hmm.
The Atari game Asteroids,
It's
like the really
It's on
old
here.
original one, is that in there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because my dad was was recently asking me like if he could play that again somehow, like the
go.
original, like where it's just
Your
black
dad
screen
might like
and
this
like
collection.
little.
Yeah. There you go.
He likes Asteroids a lot.
He
They're
might
so
really
weird.
get
That's
this
$10.
collection.
Yeah.
Probably
Here's the
cheaper
funny
way to get
thing.
Asteroids for him.
This is there's probably, they do have the original Asteroids on it, but like I feel like half of the games that are on here is either Brick Breaker or Asteroids, like redone or recloned or reskinned.
Mm.
Well, that's what
So-
Atari
Yeah,
was.
I want the original.
This is the original. It came out, or I think
Okay.
it's the original. Hang on. This is
Like
Asteroids.
79 or something.
Okay, hang on. This is Asteroids on Atari 7800. It came out in 1986. Let me keep going. Man, there's a lot of damn games.
Yeah, it's a
There
lot.
are a lot on here. Here's Asteroids on the 2600. It came out in 1981. Here's Asteroids Deluxe, the arcade game. And here's Asteroids Arcade 1979.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about it. It has the Atari version and the arcade Atari version, so you can kind of play the arcade version too, which is immensely better than the one.
That sounds like a
that's on the
good
home
collection. There's a
Yes.
lot.
It is a good collection. I mean, I'll give it that. If you're into this stuff, I'll give it that. It's just so many of the games that I tried to play. I tried playing football or basketball or boxing. I tried playing a haunted house. I honestly went through and tried to play a bunch of them. They're all so bad. Like they're all just so bad. I'm like, how did anybody play any of these
Yeah.
games?
You gotta take it with a grain of salt because you gotta realize that this was before Nintendo. This was before any other real game console was out.
Mhm.
This in television, and I think ColecoVision at the time. So it's like, yeah, this is what we had. Nothing else. Like,
It was groundbreaking. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa, how do you move that with just a button? Like,
and I think
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about the little doc snippets in it is they tell you like, hey, some of this stuff we couldn't really initially do. We had to like kind of figure out ways to make certain
Mhm.
aspects or certain colors work to get this
100%.
game even playable.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's a
They
really
talk about
cool
ripping
effect.
sounds off of like just off the boards and stuff to like make soundtracks for the game, like where the Pong stuff came from. And the documentary has been worth it alone. Now, it's hard to recommend buying the game just for that because you could just watch that on you, like it's just on YouTube. But at the same time, I think the interactiveness of it, being able to see it on the timeline, and there's more stuff in the game that's not in the like YouTube video, because the interviews and everything have all been compiled and online, but like the images and the document files and the little extra stuff that they add to it, I think adds a lot to it as well. It gives it like a time and place. It's almost like you're flipping through like an old photo album, like an old binder, that just the YouTube documentary doesn't do on its own. It's not all for loss though. I played Atari Karts, which I never heard of before. It's like Super Mario Kart, but Atari.
Atari Karts.
Yeah, and it's good. Like that's a good game.
Oh
That's
my
something that I would play. I don't know them all. I think it's Missile Command, and there's a bunch of like Brick Breaker games.
Missile Command is fun.
Those are super fun. Like I'm always down for a Brick Breaker. It's hard to. I honestly like almost cringe hear myself like buy a game and play Brick Breaker. It's hard. I understand how hard that is to say, but like there are good things that like even somebody that has no appreciation for the older stuff. There are good things that I'm finding to play.
If I remember correctly,
I don't remember seeing that one. I don't like Vector Sector. I learned that. Like I'm not into that.
I think that's the dot. They tell an interesting story about how they made, like, I don't know if you know this, but the arcade version of Qbert, if you fell off the platform, it would make a loud thump noise, like a boom, like a table in the arcade. And they made that by like putting like a pinball machine piece inside the Qbert arcade cabinet. So when you fell off, it actually sounded like somebody actually falling off the game board.
Wow.
Make the noise. It was pretty cool, pretty kind of
little
revolutionary for the time.
Magic tricks that they would do. It was all just very gimmicky. It's very like old school video games is very like close to like magicians, right? All this like sleight of hand, change, like smoke and mirrors, like kind of carny stuff. It's like very carnival fairgrounds type stuff. I played Basket Brawl, which is all the sports games are terrible, but I want to talk about, because I don't want to talk about this forever, but I do want to talk about one thing. There's a game on here called Ninja Golf. That is one of the wildest shit. This is the most wild shit I've ever played.
Yep. I knew Donnie was going to catch this game.
So you're a ninja.
That is correct.
Like full-blown 1980s ninja, right? The whole getup and everything, sword. You're a ninja, and you start the game, and you're greeted by a screen with a dragon that says, after many long years of ninja training, you are finally ready for the most difficult test of all. 9 holes of golf. And Rebecca, your character runs out there as a ninja, and you square up to hit a golf ball, and you aim the line on the golf course, and you press the B button, and it hits the ball. And then immediately after hitting the ball, the ninja takes off running. And as you run, it's a 2D game, a side scroller of a ninja fight. These people come out of the ground and they come out of the back screen, and you fight each other. You do ninja kicks, and you throw stars.
That sounds fun.
And then you get to the ball, and then you hit it again. And then you go do it again. And then when you get to the end to like putt the ball to get in the hole, you fight a dragon that shoots fireballs at you.
This game
I was like, what the fuck is this idea?
That actually sounds really fun. They need to remake
Somebody
this.
Bring back Ninja Golf. This is better than Mario Golf. So it's not all for loss. But it's crazy. It's crazy. For $10, I can't be too upset about it. Like, I'm glad I have it. I am going to finish the documentary. Me and Jack had a lot of fun playing Scrapyard Dog, honestly, just making fun of all this stuff. And
Scrapyard Dog.
And I don't retract anything that I said to CJ, or like playing the old stuff, like everything pre 89 is really hard to play, unless it's like arcade game like Centipede, or Galaga, or like the little clone. There's a lot of clones out there. But you know what Atari did great, which I don't think this isn't selling anybody, but damn, the box art on this stuff is epic.
It's amazing,
isn't it?
Back
it's
then,
really cool.
The box art did not reflect what the game looked like at all.
At all.
And we need to go back to that. Like, I just want artist renditions of like these things. How great would it be to have on a shelf to like just look at your game collection in this way? Somebody should make Atari-esque covers for like new games, like Nintendo Switch games and PlayStation 4 games. And you just make an Atari-esque, like I would buy that and literally just reskin my stuff. Can you imagine having like one kind of like connected set of covers that all look the same and everything? Cool. This stuff is incredible.
it looked like what the 80s thought the future would look like. And it's so weird, but it's so cool at the same time. Like, oh, this is
like the Super Breakout, which is just Brick Breaker. And like this cover looks incredible. It's like, I want to play that. And it's just Brick Breaker. So yeah, I had fun with the Atari collection.
Cool.
I'm glad you had fun with it.
Yeah. Ninja Golf for the win.
There you go.
Saved the whole thing. The whole investment has been saved. Because I've discovered Ninja Golf.
Scrapyard Dog's weird.
It's so weird. Dude, like a lot of this stuff is weird. Their sports games are terrible.
They're really bad.
They're so bad. I'm like, how do people even do this? My son, when I were playing, he was like, what is this? What are we looking at? What is that character? I posted some
Johnny,
screenshots. Go ahead.
For next week, try ET, and then let us know what you think about that one.
I don't think that was on there.
Yeah, as I say, I haven't seen that one. I haven't come across that one yet.
Okay.
Because it's
which is kind of interesting because they have prototypes and stuff. They have unreleased things that are on here that that never were, I think, officially released. They're on here, but yeah, ET isn't.
That should have been on there. That's a mission that they should try to figure out a way to get that on. I guess part 2 of the collection or whatever
You have to buy that console.
Oh yeah, I'm getting the console, but I'm not paying.
Are you really?
I'm not paying for it. It's going to be a gift. I love the aesthetic of the Atari 2600 in general.
Nah, I get you. Something to throw like on the thing. It's a talking point.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Definitely. That used to be my like console back in the day when I was a kid. Like I was probably like what 6 years.
It does have a very iconic look to it.
Just don't ask to play anything on it. Like, hey,
there's that part.
That's cool. Let's play it. And Delvin's like, oh, it's not hooked up. Don't.
Yeah, it's not even hooked up. It's not even plugged in.
We're not doing
Why would I do that?
Nobody does that here.
It's good to look at.
3D tic-tac-toe.
That's Atari. That's Atari in a nutshell.
Hey, they had a cool logo. It makes for some great merch. Atari merch is stellar. Good branding.
Anything else before we move on to the news?
Nothing.
I would love to talk to you about Under the Waves because I loved it, but it's not on.
Oh yeah, you tagged me in that.
It's not on Nintendo.
Is it on Steam Deck? I think
it is on Steam Deck. And I played it on Ally. I played it almost 100% portably. I really, really like it. It's Firewatch
check it
but
out.
underwater. I mean, it really is. Like the parallels there are very similar, but it's a Quantic Dream game. So it does Quantic Dream.
Underwater freaks me out.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think you both would really like it, but I started to wane on that recommendation a little bit as I played it because there's a bit more management. It's not just the walking sim. Like you have to maintain like your ship and your gas and your oxygen. And I wonder how long like that would play with either of you. I'm not sure how much you guys have gotten into games like that. It's not hard, but I mean, like there's resources I found were plenty, but it's not Firewatch. You're not just walking around getting story beats. There's a little bit more gameplay to it.
For some strange reason, managing oxygen in a video game gives me anxiety. I'm like just checking for the oxygen.
Think about Sonic.
Yes, I think Sonic might have did it. That's what did it to me.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. So yeah, I don't know if I could fully 100% recommend to you, but I think if either of you get it on a deal or just throw it on your wish list one day, I don't know. I really liked it. So it was a lot of fun. Maybe it'll come to Switch. I imagine it would. Nothing about it seems unattainable for Switch.
I hope so.
Yeah. But that's it.
Okay. Into the news. Kamiya says that he planned for Bayonetta to have 9 installments in a full Bayonetta saga, but he'll take those ideas to the grave, he says.
Damn.
Yep.
Though he does expect that Platinum will keep the series going without him. I don't think he's going to live long enough to have 9 full installments, seeing how long it was between 3 and 4.
Damn.
I'm just saying. Or 2 and 3. The last one was 3, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, between 2 and 3.
I know what you meant. I got it. Yeah. That's a wild thing. 9. You'd have to do 6 more. It was nice at least I think a lot of people were worried that like he had no rights to Bayonetta, so I never expected that they're not going to stop making Bayonetta games. Not as long as they have a publisher. As long as Nintendo keeps, putting money in the furnace, they'll keep making it. So
They will.
Yeah. As long as it's profitable.
Did Bayo 3 sell well enough to predict that there will be 6 more games?
that's a really good question.
That is a good question.
I don't think Bayonetta sold well, but the thing about that is Bayonetta 2, like none of them sell well.
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
kinda
really
Metroid
need
in that
to.
well. It's over 1 million, which I think is
Okay.
that's what 2 was. So it's
That's
over
all
1
it
million.
probably needs to be.
Yeah, that's probably right. If they can be made, I think Bayonetta is in a like a sweet spot with Nintendo where it has to be kind of made probably on a budget. Like it can't just be, they're not going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars into a Bayonetta project. So if they can keep making it, conservatively, like fiscally conservatively, I think they'll keep making them. Yeah, keep the cost down. Because I think I've said this for years, it fits a hole that Nintendo, like there's value for Nintendo to be associated with the brand. It gives them a hardcore
Definitely.
game like Metroid that appeals to, a more devout enthusiast gamer. It's not the casual approach. So for every, I was going to say, and I just completely forgot, for every, what was the damn workout game that they made? Just forgot the name of it. With the Ring Fit, for every Ring Fit adventure and everybody 1-2 switch and all that, they need a Bayonetta to kind of counteract that stuff every now and again. So I think it makes sense for Nintendo to stay in the business. Plus, it's second party, right? They're not fronting the cost for the development or the HR or the PR or any of that. So they can just pay them to make the game and then put it in Nintendo Direct. Done deal.
Yeah.
Easy.
Speaking of everybody's 1-2 switch, I saw that on sale for $20, and I was like, absolutely not.
Dude, that's the thing. Yeah. I wouldn't pay $2 for that. I would for Gollum, but not for that.
I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. That's one that should have been pre-installed on the Switch on March 3rd, 2017.
Yeah.
I don't want this icon on my Switch. Get this shit off here.
Nintendo announced that Jet Force Gemini will be coming to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for the N64 library in December. Okay, I just need everybody to know that when they announced this, I have a group chat where I am the second oldest person in it, and most of the people in it are like in the early.
Oh my God.
That's statutory.
I know. I'm saying, what? They're early. What are you talking about?
Just joking.
They're all
It was
adults.
a good joke, though, wasn't it?
That was not. It's not a good joke.
Rebecca's hanging out with 7th graders. Like, Rebecca, is this your karate class? Like,
no, you would think, because they posted Jet Force Gemini, the announcement, and they're like, this is a Rebecca ass looking game. And I'm like, what does that mean? And none of them had heard. I was like, I thought Jet Force Gemini was already on Nintendo Switch Online. And they're like, you would know what Jet Force Gemini is. Like, the fact that you even heard of this game before. Like, what is this game? What's coming next?
Okay, boomer.
Like helicopter.
Hang on, Rebecca,
Pisces?
do you run like a Girl Scout troop? Is that this group chat? I'm trying to figure out
just think about the juxtaposition right now.
They're just
got to
Zoomers.
talk
They're
about
Gen Z kids.
Atari, which I was alive for.
Well, it made me feel old.
It
made me feel old. They think I'm old. They think I'm old. I never even played Jet Force Gemini just because I knew it existed.
This hurts.
Anyway.
This hurts my soul.
Yeah, because the young people think that I'm old, so they probably think you're ancient.
Yeah.
We do. We do think he's ancient.
Like, Scooby, sir, did you know Jesus?
Definitely ancient.
Anyway, that's not the interesting part of this announcement. The interesting part is that Nintendo has announced that there is a new N64 online app in Japan that's an 18 plus variant so that they can have games like Jet Force Gemini and GoldenEye 007. Those are the 18 plus games in Japan.
Yeah.
And so that'll come out for the Japan region on November 30th. They're going to have the adult or Z rating in Japan. So that's why they have to have the alternate app, because you have to be an adult to download that one.
Delvin, I got excited at first when I saw the headline of an adult-only Nintendo Switch app. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I read it, and I was like, "Never mind."
Yeah. the risky Jet Force Gemini.
I'll stay on
GoldenEye. Ooh, because they have guns.
I thought some of those Steam games were about to come over to Switch, and I was like, "Look at this."
Yeah. The reason I had my account.
Yeah, they're rated 18 plus there because of the gun violence, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more serious over there.
I love
I'm also very
you would
angry.
know what this old ass shit is.
That's what they said. They're like, you would know.
You would.
It's not even that uncommon. It's Jet Force Gemini.
Wow.
Anyway.
Rebecca said, "Gather around, children. Let me tell you a story."
Jet Force Gemini.
I was very upset because do you remember back when they announced the N64 games that would be coming to Nintendo Switch Online? They kind of roadmapped it for us. It took the whole year for all of them to come out. And finally, there was one more left. It was 1080 snowboarding. And so I thought the next announcement was going to be 1080 snowboarding.
Yep.
And it wasn't. It was Jet Force Gemini. And I'm still waiting for 1080 snowboarding, but they did clarify that is still scheduled to release in 2023. So I guess that'll be coming at the end of December. I had to wait that long.
Yeah.
And in Japan, Harvest Moon 2 and Star Twins will be also releasing before the end of 2023.
So when
did we know Jet Force was coming? It's another rare
No,
game, right?
We didn't.
Yeah,
No, we didn't. No.
So are there other rare games you want to see come? Is anybody into? I'm not into Jet Force Gemini. Yeah, Diddy Kong would be the best. Yeah, Diddy Kong would get me to resubscribe.
That's like the only one that I still want to play.
That's as much as I can say. I would subscribe for Diddy Kong just to play online with folks, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool.
Diddy Kong would be dope.
They gotta know people want that.
I hope so. It's so good.
Anyway.
Are you into Jet Force?
I've never played it.
Not that great.
This is one of those games that I always wanted to play, but just never played it. It looked really cool. I think
it does look cool. I'll give it that. It does look cool. I mean, last I played it was with Rare Replay, and I didn't like it then. I didn't like it back in the day either. So
I don't even
I'm
think
not
I
that
played
into
it in the
Jet
Rare
Force
Replay,
Gemini.
and I have the Rare Replay collection. I don't think I just even bothered to touch it. I was too busy playing Perfect.
That sounds about right. I feel like that's par for the course with the Xbox fans. Like Rare Replay came out, everybody like rejoiced and was like, "Yeah, we got Rare games," and then nobody on Xbox played it. Yeah. Like you never really hear about anybody playing it. Like nobody played it.
That guy just played Perfect Dark.
When GoldenEye came out, people were like, "Do I have that?" Like that's when they pulled out their Rare Replay for the first time. Yeah, those games are kind of. It's interesting how brands get associated with things, and like it does feel like the Rare properties just go wild, just mostly unappreciated. Not for like gamers. I think people that love and play games, like they definitely appreciate Rare Replay, but you know what I mean, like the mass adoption, like the excitement, the enthusiasm that you see for certain brands that are tied, like that wasn't there for Xbox.
Well, yeah, because
games.
A lot of people who are of a different generation don't know what the hell these games are, just like they didn't know what Jet Force Gemini was. Like, what is this? It's just a different generation that just don't know what these Rare Replay games are. Like, oh, okay, I guess this is cool.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with the Banjo stuff, like wanting to bring back Banjo and stuff. It's like, who are we bringing Banjo for?
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going to like release it on Switch, like if you're going to make it multi-platform, like the Crash games and stuff, then maybe. I think maybe that makes some sense. But like if you're going to like try to, like it's an exclusive Banjo game, I don't think that does a whole lot.
Yeah. I think that's probably why they're bringing back a lot of these old licensed games, because people recognize, at the very least, people recognize the name of the game.
Yeah.
Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they bringing back the Gargoyles remastered, all these things. Like, oh, I remember this thing, and again, people buy it because they just remember the name of it.
And with at least not to turn this into an Xbox point, but with Xbox's kind of approach to like Minecraft and how they treat other things, I guess it makes some sense for them to be kind of in the Crash, Tony Hawk, Banjo market, because they will release them on multi-platform. You know, they can put them on Game Pass, but then like 007, they can put it on Switch and NSO and things like that. So it makes some sense. Maybe they can do that. Because I think if they did like announce like a new back to form, back to basics Banjo game, like the Spyro trilogy and stuff like that, but it was on everything, maybe there would be some hype for that, right? Like people would get excited. Yeah, I think so.
Banjo's a cool character, so I think we should do something with him.
I like Banjo.
Yeah, he's in Smash. Right? Like I think it's amazing that like they did a whole trailer and everything for him in Smash, and yet we've yet to get the like a proper game.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
To answer the question in chat, Jess, I think I got it on Redbubble. I think.
Nice.
My shirt, Chrono Cross. Thank you. A couple quick headlines before we get into the questions from this week. Charles Martinet will be a special guest at Nintendo Live 2024. I guess they're going to continue doing that Nintendo Live each year as they wanted to. Wasn't this year the first one, or last year was the first one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Something like that. So I'm glad that he's still going to be involved and around and, you know, kind of in that role. We didn't really know what ambassador meant. He's probably just going to keep doing all the things he has been doing, to be honest.
Yeah. The little voiceovers, little pictures, autographs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep him working. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just added this last minute. Have you heard this Suika game? I think it's a Switch exclusive. It's this little indie about a watermelon. It's like a puzzle game. Everybody's talking about it. It's going viral. I see it on my feed all the time. It hit 4 million downloads worldwide this week. It only costs $3. Everybody's talking about Suika game. Am I saying that right? Suika?
I mean, that's what it looks like. I don't know. But
4
I mean,
million.
Like
it just came out. Like, this is a really big deal for an indie game.
I mean, that's tens of millions of dollars at $3 a pop.
Yeah.
It's got online leaderboards. Yeah. Circle of Evolution.
I didn't know if either of you guys had heard of it or
This is the
had played
first
it.
I've ever heard it or seen it.
Really? It's like going viral. Like, everybody's talking about it.
Well, you know, Rebecca, we're not tuned into the streets.
Absolutely.
You know,
not.
like we don't have, you know, DM groups of children yelling at us about old games.
Yeah.
Suika game is a puzzle game focused on stacking objects in a confined space reminiscent to Tetris. The player, represented as a cloud called Poppy, is tasked with dropping a wide range of fruits in a box and aim for the highest score without having a single fruit cross the line at the top of the box and overflowing out, or else the game would end. Player must match 2 types of fruits. Okay, so it is kind of like a Tetris-y type.
It's like,
game.
yeah, it's circular Tetris. But I guess you got to match the colors. But the difference is, like, the twist is that the blocks aren't the same size. Like, some of them are really big and some of them are really small. So the fruits are kind of different. It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to stick that in there because I know not just people are talking about it, but 4 million downloads is a really big deal for
I mean, for an indie, that's a huge
great.
hit. You know, like I said, $3 a pop. You got that many? I mean, it's a lot of money.
1 million would be a big deal.
Yeah,
4 million.
That probably changed their life. Like you know, like
Yeah, to
overnight,
say
like
the
in
least,
a couple months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool story.
I'm trying to see when it came out. It was pretty recently. Oh no, actually, wait, I did not know this. It came out December 2021. But I think it's just blowing up now. Like, it's like going viral and blowing up now. Like, kind of like an Among Us type of thing.
Sean and Carpool have been on this one, so maybe you've been talking about this one a little bit as well.
Oh, okay.
They were into that trombone game too, as well, right? That went like viral and stuff.
Yeah, that blew up too.
They dabble more into that than I do. I don't really get into that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is it popular on stream? Is that like maybe a part of it, or is it just
I don't know. I haven't seen it on stream. I've just seen people posting about it on like Twitter and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Hit us with some questions, Donnie.
Yeah, let's do it. I didn't put out for questions on Twitter this so it's straight from the Discord.
Still got a good amount of them.
I kind of forgot. Like, I was sitting there yesterday and I was like, oh, we got to do a podcast in the morning. After hearing Rebecca's take on Splatoon 3, what do you think Nintendo needs to do differently with the next Splatoon game? That comes from Jared.
Jared, I need them to like give us a spinoff. That's what I wanted in between 2 and 3. Well, I I didn't know that we would be getting 3 so soon, but I think it's time for them to give us a spin-off, give us like a 2D platformer, give us like a rhythm game, give us the tactical game, something. I don't know. Just build the lore a little bit more. That's like the best of Splatoon when they do that. I think the problem is they are giving so much of us like the same, and like we're waiting for the DLC and we're not hearing anything about the DLC, and it's just like the same kind of boring Splatfests like over and over and over again. And it doesn't even feel like with the Splatfest that when we play them that it even like really makes a difference. Like this past Splatfest, Team Handshake won, I think, maybe. And like I didn't participate in it, but everybody was saying like they didn't even run into any team handshake battles the entire time that they played. Like they were not winning the whole time. And then all of a sudden at the end, they just like magically won. Like it doesn't feel very like transparent or fun or like anything like that. And it's just like over and over and over again. They're just giving us more Splatfest. I think that they need to, they really had a good thing going with these challenges that they added. But the problem is like nobody knows when the challenges are. They're only for like a 2-hour window. Like the time of all of these events is just so limited. Like they did a good thing from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3 where they made Salmon Run available at all times. Remember when Salmon Run was only available for like certain, windows of time? Like that sucked. So they did better with that, but these challenges need to be open for like much longer times. Like everything just feels so time limited. The stages, like I don't want to go on and play the same 2 stages for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like make it so that all of the stages are available. Maybe you vote, maybe like, I don't know. There needs to be like a whole toss up of the way that the game is like organized, I guess, or structured. It just feels like it's so much of the same. And then after 1 year, like I have no reason to keep working towards the catalogs anymore because they're just repeating what was in last year's catalog. So like the fall season catalog from last year is the same. This current fall catalog is the same as last year's. So I already got all the stuff that I wanted out of that catalog. Why would I go do it again? There's no reason. Like there's not new items. There's some, but like most of them aren't. And it just doesn't feel like they're rolling out like enough weapons and like new things. I don't know. It just feels so boring. So I guess that's like a really long-winded way to say like, I feel like for the next one, don't put it out until like you're ready to support it. Like a live service game, the way that 2 was. Maybe take some time and like, I don't know, do something a little different in the meantime. I don't know. I think I'm going to jump back into it when the DLC comes out because I'm really excited about the DLC.
Yeah. Dylan?
It's going to be a new single player story and it's going to be like really tough.
An expansive single player story that I can get into.
That's what the DLC is going to be.
That's what 3 was, I think.
Yeah. Just do Splatoon mixed with Far Cry. Give me an open world Splatoon map.
Open world Splatoon game.
I can go around this single player and just, hey, you can
that's what the power of the Switch 2 will bring us.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
Splatoon, baby.
We see Splatoon Splat Kid, and then the camera, like it does the PlayStation thing, the camera zips around him, and he looks around, and like he wants. Oh man, that would get Nintendo fans so hyped.
Yeah, just open world Splatoon, baby. People could jump in the world.
Somebody fan make that. I need a fan made trailer of open world Splatoon game.
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh,
and the Splatfest themes are boring. That's the last thing that I want to say. They're boring. Like the first couple ones were so good. Like Kyle brought up in chat about how like when last year when they did Team Grass, Team Fire, Team Water for like the Pokemon starters, like that was pretty cool because like people have actual opinions on that. Sure. There was another one that they did based on something else. Oh, the Team Power, Wisdom, and Courage for the Zelda Splatfest. Mm-hmm. Like that was pretty cool. Nobody cares about Team Handshake, Fist Bump, or Hug
Team
for your favorite greeting. Like, it's just so boring. Yeah, it's so boring. I don't want to even join. I don't have that strong of an opinion. Like, please.
Yeah, do something interesting. Do like
I would love to give you
team-
grand plans like Delvin, but I think we all know that they're just not going to do that.
of course not.
You know, like it's one of those things where I've it's just the Splatoon is tired. It's boring and it's old and it's just rehashed and it's been redone, and I'm like, I just am not interested. Spin-off is an interesting idea. We could take it a bunch of different ways. Do a platformer, you could do more of an adventure game, do a Splatoon kart racer. Splatoon can do a lot of crazy
That'd be
things.
cool.
Yeah,
There's
imagine
enough
like a
characters
battle
that they could
mode
do
and
a
stuff
kart
with,
racer.
yeah, I think they could.
It's just like the grind. Like at this point, like once you've played so much, it just turns into like this endless grind where like you're not getting anything
But
that
no
is like
rewards.
that much better than what you
Yeah,
already
there's
have.
nothing worth grinding for. That's the problem. So
Yeah, it's just
I mean,
an endless grind of like not that much better.
if we had our way, if I ran Splatoon, I mean, I would adopt a lot of the live service stuff that other shooters are doing, right? Like I would add their
Mhm.
gear. I would have seasonal licensed gear. I would have Mario tie-ins and
Mhm.
Animal Crossing tie-ins and
Mhm.
all the stuff in
That
house
would be
you could
so
do.
big.
Pokemon tie-ins. I would have shirts and hats and character
Mhm.
skins, and I would probably do a battle pass in a season mode. And instead of doing
See,
these
I would not want to
rotating
miss
things,
that.
yeah, I would have
If
seasons where
they
like this
incorporated
season
other
we're doing
games,
this mode or
mhm,
this challenge, and then this season we're doing this mode and this challenge, and make it a live
I'd be
service
on
game,
there
make
every
it
weekend.
an event. But it's
Mhm.
not, and I don't think they're going to. That's the problem. They're not going to do any of that. So I don't know. Like I'm just kind of, I have like apathy for Splatoon, like the series. Like right now, if they announced a Splatoon 4 and it was more of the same, I don't think I'd even be interested in buying it. Like I just don't, and I like Splatoon 3 single player a lot. I said that and I played it a lot,
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. I've done it.
It was good.
I've just done it. I've done it. I've done it over and over again. Like I don't know what else to do. Like I think the Splatoon property is probably Nintendo's best IP, like new IP, maybe like the last 20 years. There's a lot to
Mhm.
be done there. I'm surprised we don't have a Splatoon mobile game. Like I think Splatoon just makes a lot of money, like wherever you put it and whatever you do with it.
It's so big in Japan.
Right. And I think that's I think there's a part of them that's like, they're scared to dip too far into the live service zone because then you're starting to adopt like free to play things, and they don't want to do that. They want you to pay $60-$70 to play Splatoon. But at the same time, like they also don't want to differ from what's made Splatoon. Right? Splatoon is very successful and popular in Japan. They don't
But
want to
they can
break away from
yeah.
that too much.
They can definitely keep the core gameplay of it, but do what you said. Like I would not want to miss a week of playing if they had like other Nintendo exclusive items. Like if
Yeah.
I could work towards, get so many points to get, like a link cap or something.
It's such a
You
great
know,
cross promotion tactic. With every
they
release
don't
that they
even
had,
need rights to it. It's theirs.
if they had like a Wario themed Splatfest when Wario dropped, that's so good for Wario. Like that's so
Mhm,
good for
mhm.
other game. Like every first party Nintendo game should have Splatoon tie-in and content and events and whatever you can, like Smash. Honestly, like Smash, they could lean more into competitive aspects. They could have like global rankings and all kinds of stuff like that. Like you could get really into the competitive scene with it a bit more. I don't know. There's a lot of things that they can do with it, but like to me, it feels like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, you could say almost all these same things about, and they just don't do it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They maybe because they don't have to. It might be that because they don't have to do it, so they won't. Like there's no need to go that hard with it because what they're doing, for all of our complaints about it, what they've done has worked. Splatoon 3 sold well, right? Sold gangbusters, had its own system and
Mhm.
everything. Like, so they don't have
And I
to.
don't think they need, because it is nothing else costs money. Like it is just everything that they're putting into the game. It's just free for us. They're not getting anything out of it. So they don't really have any incentive to keep it going as a live service game. They've already
Yeah.
made their money.
It doesn't seem like they're as invested on the human resource side as like a Fortnite or some of these kind of ongoing things are. They're not dedicating the amount of teams, the amount of people to keep, a cycle like that going. And it's a shame because I definitely think I would rather see like the next Switch system just get Splatoon. And it's like, this is the Splatoon for Switch 2. And it's only going to be here. And we're just going to do the one.
Mhm.
And we're just going to keep working
Mhm.
like, just like a Destiny approach, which is like keep expanding it, adding new modes, adding new content, adding new thing. You're like, you're gonna buy this game, and it's just gonna keep getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
But I don't. But again,
I would like that too.
It's so not the Nintendo way. Like they built a game, it was really good, and then they made 3 sequels out of it. Like they're just gonna keep doing that and keep reselling us the game over and over again until we.
I would put way more than $60 into it if they made it like a live service game.
I think
like
a lot of people would.
Over time.
And that's the
they could make more than that.
Like that's the fallacy with their approach, is that they don't realize that if they created the Splatoon platform and they had like an annual or a biannual expansion, people would keep giving them the $60 if the expansion was worth it. Right? If they came out and like, here's a bunch of new modes and a bunch of new content and it's $60, people would gladly pay it. They would pay for it, and then here's new arenas, and here's some new content and a new mode. Here's another $60. Like other games do this, but I think I would have guessed that Nintendo, and they're probably right, they probably wouldn't sell as many. You know, like that's probably true. Like I bet a Splatoon 4 sells more than a Splatoon 3 expansion. You know, Splatoon 5 sells more.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's probably why. That's probably why they don't do that. So.
Whatever.
It is what it is. It is kind of sad to see Splatoon kind of go down this route, because when Splatoon showed up for the first time, it was so exciting that Nintendo was making a shooter, that it was so fresh, it was so new, it was so novel. We didn't play anything like it, and then here we are, not even 10 years later, and we're like, this is so tired. And it's so boring, and it's so in need of a makeover. Like it's so sad to see that.
It's still my second favorite game franchise. I love to hate it. I hate to love it. It's just the way it is.
The game itself, the core game, is great. It's still great.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe honestly, I wonder about this. Let me think much smaller. What about just a really major aesthetic change?
That could work.
Like a really different aesthetic.
I like the aesthetic.
I think they should just Fortnite it up.
It'd still be Splatoon, but like just a different. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, like game to game, Nintendo properties, like the aesthetic can change. It can still look like Kirby, but look like a brand new Kirby game. Yeah. Like, what if they just did that? Hard to Splatoon?
Yeah. It's also like hard to complain. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay,
Splatoon's already very dark. It's very dark.
So, like, what if the environments and the colors and thing matched it?
Well, that's what I was. So if deep like Splatoon fans, hardcore Splatoon fans know that at the end of Splatoon 2, the last official Splatfest was Chaos versus Order, and they would make the next game about like whichever one was victorious, and so Team Chaos won, and so most people thought that like the next game, Splatoon 3, was going to be like very, you know, representative of that, like chaos, like everything is like dark, and falling apart, and like
apocalyptic,
like the Inklings revolted, and like, you know, things like that. That was not really the case. They are living in harmony despite the chaos. Like it wasn't really what we thought it was going to be. Yeah,
dude,
we thought it was going to be like that.
That's another thing. I mean, just hearing that, I was just thinking, seasons. Splatoon needs seasons, because like, what if, let's say, a season lasted, I don't know, 4 months.
It has that.
Does it?
Yeah.
So
it has a different catalog for each season.
I'm not talking about that. Here's what I was thinking. What if all of these Splatfests, the side that you chose, were representative of like a bigger thing going on in the background? And like every time the Splatfest condition, like you were getting points for like a bigger conflict, like a bigger thing. Like what if the Splatfests were like inside of something itself?
If they mattered.
Yeah, it is something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I was gonna say though, it is a little bit hard for me to like complain that a game has gotten boring after I've like spent 400 hours in it. Like I just need to point that out, that like of course like any game is gonna get boring after hundreds of hours, but I feel very lucky that it has given me that much like enjoyment.
Yeah, I knew it had seasons for the gear. That's not what I would have meant, like seasons like for like the additional things that go on, like the game changes and stuff, like with every season.
Yeah.
Oh well, we tried. P.S. How's that Detective Pikachu 2, Delvin?
I haven't had time to play it. I've been playing everything else.
I honestly would love to know if you like Gollum more or less than Detective Pikachu.
I'll let you know when I get Gollum. I think it's supposed to come this week. I ordered off of what is that site called? Woot, I think it's called.
Yeah, a little Amazon kind of warehouse site.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like Amazon's site to get rid of everything that they can't sell.
Exactly. And with them, they're like, we'll send it to you when we feel like sending it to you.
Throw
It's
it
not
on
like
Woot for
it's
nothing.
like 2 days shipping. It's like, nah, you'll get it when you get it.
Sorry, I read over TPR's first question. Which existing Switch game most sorely needs a glow up?
I think we
Mario
just said
Strikers
it.
Battle League or Mario Golf Super Rush?
Ooh, out of those two, that's a good question.
Golf,
Probably golf.
because Strikers is just like there's nothing saving that one.
I think more
I still
people care
haven't played
about the
it.
golf.
Got to, man. I still haven't played. I got to play it. I forgot all about it. I got to get Strikers in and give it a try.
Have fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else you could. I mean, I know what I would do to Super Mario Golf. I don't think that's going to happen. But if my memory serves, Strikers just didn't have anything, right? Just very bare bones content wise, like maps and characters and modes and stuff.
Correct.
So I think the
That's right.
easiest to add a lot to would be Strikers. Like if they just added 2 new modes and 8 new maps and 2 new characters, people would be excited for Strikers.
Yeah, just do something.
I assume the gameplay in Strikers was good. Like if I remember, people liked playing it. It just wasn't a whole lot there. Which sadly it's been par for the course with like Camelot and Nintendo games. Like they've really been doing like these bare bone things lately, like the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that over and over again. We saw that with tennis. We saw like oh, we'll add some more to it, but like we gotta stop
It
buying
does
those
seem
things.
like it's becoming kind of common. Like, hey,
Like a
here you
trend,
go.
yeah. Yeah, we were on a
Here's
good
the
run of
game.
like 4 or 5 of these things. Like, well, it's got a couple modes and a couple of characters, and like it's not nearly what they used to do. So maybe again, because they don't have to, right? It kind of goes back to that Splatoon thing. Because they don't have to. Because they're not trying hard to sell consoles. Because they're not trying hard to sell games. Because because whatever they put out there is selling. They don't have to.
Mhm.
So they're not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean that really is what's driving Splatoon being Splatoon. They don't have to do anything. They just fucking reskin that thing again, create one new map, and Splatoon 4. 25 million copies sold. Like, until it's the Pokemon thing, right? Like if there's no drive to be better, then it won't change. So Gamer Guy Lou says, how was everyone's Thanksgiving? Also, are there any Nintendo games that you were hoping to finish by the end of the year that you haven't yet? Let me pop my Switch open.
Nintendo games that I'm hoping to finish by the end of the year.
Tears of the Kingdom for me. I'm almost there.
Yeah, you have to.
You gotta get there, man.
Nintendo games, I don't think so. I'm not gonna even worry about getting through all of Mario RPG because I've already played that game.
So I was thinking of Pikmin, but I don't think I'm gonna finish Pikmin.
Oh, finish Pikmin. It's not that long. It's
You
worth
think?
it.
It's not that I don't want to.
Yes.
It's just that on my list of things to play, Pikmin 4 is like 24. Like it's so far down the list of things that I want to
You should play it.
Maybe one day. I don't think I'm going to. Not by the end of the year.
I think I'm done my Nintendo
Definitely
games
not by the end of the
for the
year.
year.
I have got games on Switch that I want to finish. Like, all right, my answer to this is not a Nintendo game, so I'm sorry, Gamer Guy. I want to get into Metal Gear. I bought it. I was so excited for it. Like, I want to play it. And I'm kind of hoping to use this break as some time to like get into Metal. Like, I just want to get into Metal Gear and just start playing and be left alone. And like, I don't have to worry about anything or new releases or anything. I just want to play some Metal Gear. So that would be like my answer.
Okay. Did you ever play the original Metal Gear? Like the NES
I did
one?
when they announced this collection. I tried to play the NES one on my 360 collection on Xbox One, and it's just terrible. I'm not playing the whole game.
That's how I first got into Metal Gear. It's
I know I'm
that one.
I'm the
and,
world's
Section
worst at trying to like bring. And I've always found that to be somewhat a juxtaposition. When you hear a lot of Nintendo podcasts, or at least when I have, I don't know. I'm not trying to make a blanket statement. My experience with Nintendo centric podcasts is they tend to really romanticize the past, like almost unanimously. All of them are like how great the NES is. And because I do the show, I mean, I don't want to speak for, I'm not going to speak for you guys, but you guys let me know what you think. But because I've done the show, that's never been Nintendo Shack. And I don't know if that's why people like us or not, but I've always wondered if that's like maybe a separating voice for us, because I have no affinity for, games probably, to be honest with you, probably like pre Super Nintendo, outside of a few. I'm not saying they're all bad, right? I wouldn't never say that. But like the love that like a lot of Nintendo podcasts seem to be like wrapped up in like 90s, nostalgia. They talk about the arcades and, the games from the 80s that they got, late thing and stuff like that. And that's just never really been our thing. So,
Yeah.
As much as I love Metal Gear, like I tried playing, I was like, I'm not playing this. I played it for like an hour. It's like, absolutely not. This is awful.
I'm going to try it again because I haven't played that one in so long. I was probably a kid.
It's such a grind, man.
It is. It is definitely a grind. NES games were made for you to play for like months and months.
Like it's got to be, and I just don't have the appreciation. I wasn't there for it. For the games that I do, like I can muster through it. Like there are old games that I like. Like I really love the original Donkey Kong. Like I'm going to play Clock Tower. Clock Tower is a grind. If nobody's ever played the original Clock Tower, I got the ROM. I've played on my Super Nintendo years ago. Like my Super Nintendo Mini, for anybody. I think we talked about it on Shaq years ago. It's so damn hard. Everything's like procedural and whatnot. Like it's hard to walk through. Like you really can't find a guide. It's a pain in the ass. Like I don't really enjoy the way games were made like that back in the day. Like I can appreciate them, but it's hard to, those are hard to revisit for me.
I get it.
So yeah, Metal Gear for me would be Metal Gear Solid. I want to play Metal Gear, but here's the thing: I played Metal Gear Solid. Was it last year? We talked about it on PC. Yeah, so I think I want to start with 2 and play 2 and 3 maybe, because it's been a while. It's been many years since I played Metal Gear 2. I played Metal Gear 3 maybe 5 years ago, but it's been a long time since I played Metal Gear 2. So. Sorry for the tangent.
Oh, that was a good tangent.
Any others?
I can't think of it right now.
Pikmin would be the Nintendo game for me. Like one day I would like to go back and finish Pikmin. It just won't be soon. Tis not this day.
Okay.
John 32 says, my only question is, did Rebecca try Wonder? And what did she think?
Not yet, because I got so sucked up in Steam Deck stuff. However,
I'm going to throw that Steam Deck in the Delaware River. Are you kidding me?
Listen, I was traveling. I was doing other stuff.
She's like,
Josh
finish
is here.
Pikmin 4. Play Pikmin 4, Donnie. How dare you?
Listen, just for John 32, I will play it this week. And
just
I will
for
let you know
him?
next week what I think. Just for him.
For him?
For him.
The habitual disrespect displayed by my co-host on the show.
Wow.
I was waiting for John 32 specifically to ask what I thought about Wonder before I decided to play it.
There you go, John 32.
Kyle the Pug says, what's everyone's go-to Christmas dinner? If you had to invite any Nintendo character over for Christmas dinner. Kyle, what is with these fucking questions, man?
I like ham or lasagna.
Dude, I'm down for lasagna for Christmas.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
That does sound good.
Mm-hmm. My dad makes a really good one with ground turkey. It's so delicious.
I'm down for whatever people cooking on Christmas. I don't know.
As long as it's not you cooking?
Yeah, as long as it's not me cooking. I'm all for it. Like, hey, whatever y'all feel like cooking, bring it on.
My daughter is very adamant that we eat ham on Christmas. So I guess it's got to be it. Like, I honestly don't think of like what a Christmas meal is. I don't think of it like in Thanksgiving that way for me. I eat whatever.
I agree. I don't think of it like that.
Yeah. Doesn't matter for me.
Nintendo character I want at my
Who's
house.
coming over for Christmas? Camilla. I want Camilla to come over for Christmas. Special Fire Emblem Christmas DLC. Wrapped like a present. Am I right, Garrett? Where's Garrett?
There you go. Bayonetta. Let her come over. Come
yeah.
Let's start a little controversy.
Who's coming over, Bex?
Zelda.
There you go. Surprised nobody picked Wario or Waluigi or anybody like that. Come over there and fuck up your Christmas.
Brendan says, "Are there any games that you've used cross save feature with on Switch? I just tried it with Hades, so I can free my Switch up to play single player games.
Cross
Nintendo
save?
cross save games.
I don't think so. I've definitely done cross play, but I don't think I've used cross save.
I'm looking it up now. Nintendo games with cross save, because I don't think I have either.
I don't either.
Cross save.
Well, you know what? Fortnite. I guess that counts. Yeah, I never thought about it, but it does count. So that would be one.
I guess I used to with Rocket League.
Yeah, that'd be another one.
Yeah.
Let's see. There are surprisingly more than I thought. This is a list that you can actually scroll. The Witcher. I forgot about it. That's cross save.
Oh yeah. I did I do it for The Witcher? I think no. I didn't do it for Switch. I did it for PS3.
You can do it with Civ. You can do it with Rocket League, Minecraft, Immortals Phoenix Rising. I did not know about. I guess that makes sense because all the Ubisoft stuff is cross save. That makes sense.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Fortnite, Divinity, Dauntless, Daemon X Machina. So, got that going for you.
I probably did it for Fortnite now that I think about it.
I would have done it for Immortals Phoenix Rising, but I played the demo on Switch and it was bad. Like it was not great. I was like, "Oof, this game takes a severe hit over here on Switchland." TJ writes, "Do you think Nintendo will announce or show a new game at the Game Awards?" We haven't really talked about Nintendo at the Game Awards. They're nominated for like everything. They'll clean up a bunch.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Bex? Metroid Prime.
No.
I was going to say yes too.
Silk Song.
No.
What do we think?
Something small.
Splatoon DLC.
The Splatoon DLC would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That makes some sense.
I think it's going to be like one of their like B-listers.
Princess Peach's Showtime.
Nah.
Do you think it'd be a new game announcement or like a date for a game that's already been unveiled?
I think if it's a new game, it's going to be like a B-lister kind of thing.
Arms 2.
No.
I'm here for it.
Legs.
I don't know.
Arms.
I don't know. I haven't even really. It's interesting. I haven't really given a whole lot of thought to Nintendo at the Game Awards because I normally don't. It'd be nice. Be nice if you imagine they did like the Wind Waker announcement. Wind Waker.
That'd be cool.
Twilight Princess. I mean, I'm trying not to get my hopes up for Nintendo right now because I think this year is the year that we think it's going to be. Like they've got to, right? Like they've got some games. They've got a nice little lineup here, but like we all know that like there's a means to an end here. We're getting to the next console. So I'm not expecting to be like Metroid Prime 4 or new 3D Mario. Like I don't expect to hear any really big things until we hear about the next system. I mean, I guess they could talk about Metroid without talking about the next system because they announced it for Switch. They could.
They could show us like a teaser trailer for it, and like you'll see like 20-minute long YouTube videos speculating frame by frame about how it can't run on the current Switch.
Yeah. I mean, they could. I don't expect them to do that at the Game Awards. Personally, I just don't think they're going to give Jeff that much.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna. They would never do their system at the Game Awards, right?
I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen before Christmas.
Neither do I. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not thinking a whole lot. It's a shame Reggie's not there. Talk about Donkey Kong.
I feel like Kirby comes out every like week, so maybe a Kirby game.
Yeah.
Hey man, the last Kirby game that came out was great. So was the one before it.
I'm not saying they're not bad. I'm just saying a
I'm just
lot
saying.
of them come out.
Put some
They
respect
come
on the
out.
curves.
They put them out.
Hey, well, they get more NSO games.
Huh.
All right. Kate says, do you think NSO will get more rare games in the future? Perfect Dark, Banjo. I forgot this question.
Is Perfect Dark not on it? Oh my gosh, it's not, is it?
I don't know. I don't have the expansion pack. I don't know. Sorry.
Banjo Tooie would be cool. I feel like Diddy Kong Racing only makes sense. That's the one that I really want. I think they will, because they seem to be coming like randomly without announcement. Like GoldenEye came very randomly. Jet Force Gemini came very randomly. So I feel like they're like getting the rights to it and then just giving it to us.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. And like Xbox has already sold these ROMs, not Diddy Kong, but like the other ROMs. So like, why wouldn't Xbox, like if Xbox is gonna let them do GoldenEye, why wouldn't Xbox let them do Perfect Dark?
Yeah.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense. I think that's only good for Perfect Dark. So
yeah, it'd be fun to put that out before they release the remake.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing their own Perfect Dark, right? They've already done Rare Replay, and I guess they could remaster it. Like they've remastered Quake, but those are really like Bethesda remasters. I don't think anybody at Rare is doing anything like that. So I don't know. And then, actually, now that I think about it, Perfect Dark is kind of weird because they have a Perfect Dark game in development. We have no idea when that game is coming out.
Yeah,
I guess they could remake a couple Perfect Dark games to like maybe get people excited about Perfect Dark. But I think putting on NSO does the same thing.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's Perfect Dark.
Here's Perfect Dark. Yeah, I think anything that Xbox can do between now and Perfect Dark releasing to get people thinking about Perfect Dark, I think is a good thing. So
I agree.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good for Nintendo to do that. And plus, they want to. I think they want to keep that partnership going. Nintendo's about to get Call of Duty, so makes some sense. Yarden says, no question. I just want to hear about that sweet Steam Deck OLED.
I'm really enjoying it.
Tell us more about the hardware, the impressions.
Well, I think it's very easy to use, like right out of the box. Like I feel very good about like how I can like I did not know that all of my save files from my PC like are in the cloud and just be on here. Like I didn't even know that. I thought that I was like starting over. I thought it was just like, that's so cool, and it does it like instantaneously. It's so cool. I feel stupid that I didn't know that. Like I feel silly that I thought that I was going to have to start new save files for everything. I feel like it's all very easy and intuitive, like switching between the game mode and the desktop mode. It really is just like a little computer. You can just go and download whatever the heck you want. It runs Linux. You can install Windows. I haven't done that yet. But like getting Game Pass, getting mods, like that was all just so easy. It's all very intuitive. I don't know. What else should I talk about?
Let me ask the question. Does the vent on the back still gets hot as hell?
I didn't really experience that yet. I haven't really tried too many intensive games. I feel like I'm in my indie game era right now where like all I'm interested in playing are indie games. So like maybe that's not going to happen, but I haven't experienced that. I could imagine it probably happening with like more intensive games. I don't like these little buttons on the back. I keep pressing them when I don't mean to. I don't play any games that use them.
Do they do anything out of the box?
The buttons? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You can map them.
The Ally has them as well. They have a couple. They're really like shortcuts. Mine like takes screenshots, or I can like task swap or change windows and things like that.
I just keep, because like sometimes I just hold it with one hand and then I like keep pressing them by mistake. Oh, and I love when I take screenshots, it's just on my phone. Yeah. I don't have to send it anywhere. It's just automatically there.
I won't turn you into a PC gamer yet. Rebecca and we can start the Steam Check. I did. Under the Waves, I was probably maybe the first game in a while that I've done on both. I played maybe 5 hours of it on Ally and maybe another 5 hours on PC. And it is always remarkable when you're hopping between and you just never have to. It's not even something you have to manually do or sing. It just is. You just press the button and there's your save. You just keep playing. It's always nice, like that pick up and go part. How's the battery life?
Oh, it's very good. Like I said, I play like very like not intense games, so I haven't had any problem. I was freaking out though in the beginning because, like I said, I took it on vacation with me on my trip, and I was using just a regular USB-C charger to charge it, and I noticed it was charging like really slow. Like I had it charged for like an hour and it went up like 2%, and I'm like, this does not seem right. And then I'm like, maybe it's the outlet that I'm charging it on. Like maybe that's just like not sending a lot of power. And I moved it and it still like wasn't. But turns out it's because I was using a charger that was not the official Steam Deck charger. The USB-C that came with it charges it perfectly fast.
Yeah.
So I have to just make sure that I'm using that official one, which is kind of annoying because like sometimes like when I'm out and about and stuff and like I just have like a USB-C charger laying around, like that would be so nice to just
I was gonna say
charge it. But
I wonder what that USB-C charger was. It was like a low wattage one. It was like the Switch
maybe
USB-C one or like a phone one.
It was the one that I use for my phone.
Yeah, so it's probably just too low of a charger.
Maybe.
Because I think if you use any, what I would imagine like 35 watt and up, you'll probably be fine. Like if you
I
use
didn't know
the
there was a
Switch
difference.
charger, I bet it would be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a difference, and I have only learned that from having as many handhelds as I do. Is I have a network of fast charging USB-C bricks around the house. I've got maybe 10 of them. I actually just
is it the brick or the wire?
It's the brick. It can be the wire. The wire
Okay,
can have
well,
a
that
part of
might
it,
have
but
been.
it should be the brick. The brick will be the first part. Is making sure you have a charger that's sending a good amount of watts first, and then a cable that's capable of doing it. But they should come together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was my problem.
Yeah. Yep. I just bought a new cable myself because I just got a new power brick that I carry with me with Ally, because Ally does not have a great battery life. So I just got a new power bank. It's not that big. It's like maybe like this. And it was great. I used it while I was playing Under the Waves, and for the first time ever with it, I'm getting like 3.5, almost 3 hours, 45 minutes battery life just off the brick. And then I can continue to keep playing on the Ally for another hour and a half. So, Game Guy asked,
I forget
are you going to
somewhere
get a dock?
how many.
Are you going to get a dock for the Steam Deck?
No, I don't think I will, just because like if I want to play on a bigger screen, I can just pull up Steam and start playing on my PC. I don't really foresee myself ever wanting like to sit and do like those games on the TV when I can just do it right here where I'm sitting right now. But I could see that definitely being like useful for people who might not have that as an option.
I got a question for you. So we talked about this for a little bit. You were, at one point in time, you thought you might be interested in the PlayStation Portal because you were looking for a way to play your PlayStation games portably. Do you think you'll shift to playing those on the Steam Deck?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna play around with the remote play on there because I was not happy with it on the Logitech G Cloud. It didn't like the controls. It didn't work out right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. I don't think the Portal does what I want it to do.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I really want a handheld for playing my PlayStation.
Honestly,
games.
I was just gonna say just buy the games.
That's where I was thinking. Would you buy the games on Steam and play them on your OLED instead of the PlayStation 5?
Probably, but also that doesn't make any sense because I have a PS5. When I need
right, but you said you didn't want to play them there.
Yeah, and plus
you wanted to play them portably.
And plus, they're usually
well. See, the thing is, I feel like the games that I really want to play on PlayStation 5 come out once in a blue moon, and they are usually games that I do want to play on the TV. I played Life is Strange: True Colors on my PS5, and that was a great experience. I wanted to play that on the TV anyway.
I bet playing it on the OLED would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made a list. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you just fired off my brain.
How dare you? That person
Yeah.
was right.
Yeah,
That you
I
interrupt
was
me all
talking
the
over
time.
Rebecca. I've just made a list on Steam, a collection of things that I want to replay, and the first thing that came to mind was Life is Strange and Life is Strange, particularly Before the Storm, and then Life is Strange 2. And I was like, I kind of want to replay those.
I am getting Josh to play Life is Strange for the very first time. He just started yesterday.
So
he
good.
he has no idea. I was like, "What do you know going into this?" And he said nothing. I was like, "What's the character on the front? What's her name?" And he was like, "Stacy." Like he doesn't know. Like he did not know anything.
I would love
Like-
to hear his thoughts on Life is Strange 2. I really enjoyed 2. I mean, I love them all.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed 2, and I'm convinced that if 2 had just released like all together, it would be thought of better. Like I think the wait between the episodes really hurt it, right? But if you're sitting down like Josh for the first time, you just get to play it. I wonder if he's like, this is great. I don't know. Maybe he's like, this sucks. I don't know.
And I think the wait between them was worse than the wait between the first one. I didn't have to experience the wait between the first one, but I feel like it would be worse because the episodes are a little bit more disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not like all taking place in the same spot. I think he would like to because he has a younger brother. So I wonder what his like opinion of that would be. I feel like you could relate to that more if you are more like the character as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since I've played.
He really liked he only did up to like the very first decision that you make, like not even that far yet. He's played like maybe like an hour, and he really likes the time mechanic. Yeah, I love that game so much. He's playing it on my OLED.
Nice.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Jack finished.
Because I wouldn't let him play the remastered version.
Walking Dead 1 and 2. He's done. He keeps going. He's kept going. I might get him on Life is Strange.
Okay. He's finished season 1 and season 2?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent.
He kept going.
Jack will get annoyed by the way that the teenage girls talk.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'd be into it as much.
But I think like if you go into that like knowing that it's cringe and laughing at that, like it's not that bad.
Yeah. I just love the music. Really. The music in Life is Strange hits so hard. I have a whole playlist for Life is Strange music on in my music library.
It's very good.
So it's a lot of fun to play, especially in portable. Like if you're like, it's like in my head, I was thinking like if you're somewhere, like if you're on the holidays, you're with family or somewhere and you kind of like need to escape, it's a really great game to like throw on a pair of headphones. If you're in the back of a car or hanging out or something, it's a really great game to kind of escape into.
I need some information from Jack when you talk to him. I want to know what choices he made in episode 2, in season 2.
Okay. I'll see if I can't get a report for you by PSVG.
Who did he end up with at the end of the game?
Okay.
He'll know.
See what I can do. I think he's been meaning to. I think he's been wanting to talk about it anyway.
Oh, I'm
so
excited.
He kind of drops hints and stuff. So he might look into that. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, you should play. And we got a lot of people in the chat say they haven't played it. You guys should play it. I mean, I love both The Walking Dead, but I think a lot of people are asking about Life is Strange. Yeah, we love Life is Strange here.
Yeah, Life is Strange is awesome.
So, very pro Life is Strange podcast.
It's my favorite game.
We're going to get the next one.
That's a good question.
I wonder if something like that could be teased at the Game Awards.
I mean, timing kind of makes sense, right? True Colors has been a couple years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
They're working on that other game. They have a game that's coming out.
The remaster sucked, though. I was so upset that it finally came to Switch, and it's like awful.
Yeah, I heard
don't play the remasters. If you're playing Life is Strange for the first time, don't play the remaster. Stay away from it.
September 2021 for that.
Wasn't that True Colors was 21?
Yeah, it's been a minute. That's what I was thinking. Like it's about that time. I actually hadn't thought about it until now, and it's about that time. But you know, we've got. I still can't even remember. Is Deck 9 doing them going forward? Like they were the Life is Strange studio?
Probably.
Huh.
Did Deck 9 do True Colors?
Yeah.
Then probably.
Because they did Don't Nod. What's Don't Nod doing? Don't Nod has a game that's coming out that just got delayed.
I'm looking that up right now to see.
Like, what is that game? I can't remember the damn name of it.
They had a game that just came out.
Jusant.
Jusant?
Yeah. Jusant was the one that just came out. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden was the game that I was thinking about.
Okay. That one looks good.
It's a third-person action role-playing game. Yeah, we've seen it a couple times, and it's delayed to February. So yeah, I think it would be deck 9. If we're gonna get another one, it'd probably be from them. And yeah, who knows? They did the Expanse, so maybe they're not. Maybe now that isn't that done?
Yeah, the Expanse is done.
So now that that's done, yeah, maybe they've got their attention to pull back towards the next Life is Strange game.
I would love to see a teaser for the next Life is Strange game at because normally they tease it at E3 is when they've always teased it and announced it, but obviously that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Deck 9 made Neopets: The Darkest Fairy for the PlayStation 2. I remember that game. Wow, that's so funny.
I do not. I don't know anything about that game.
That's so funny.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
All
right. I think that's it for questions, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right. I will try Mario Wonder this week just for John 32 and nobody else, and play on my Steam Deck, and unfortunately go back to work after a nice break.
Yeah.
And I hope.
So we only got one pod left. We have next week's pod.
Oh, we do?
That's it till the Christmas show.
Oh shit.
So
okay, cool.
You got one chance to do Mario. It's your last shot, chance. Rebecca. One chance.
Okay, but Delvin has to beat Zelda then.
That's not happening.
I'll try. I'm not too far from it.
I'll take odds.
How are we going to go into the Christmas show with you not beating it?
I think that would be the greatest way to do it.
I think it's the Christmas show. It's the Christmas present that he brings to everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Beat it.
You have to.
Nah, that sounds terrible.
All right. We'll see you next week, Koopalings. Take care.
Peace.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?